Oh, hello and welcome to, my Game of the Year tier list 2025. So, as always, well, hey, a raid. Yo, Aiden, thank you for the raid. You're just in time for the tier list. Hope you're streaming well. Basically, I played, 35 games in 2025. Obviously, not all of them are games that came out in 2025. There are a bunch of these. 26 of them, in fact, were from previous years, but I'm just gonna go through, rank them all, talk about them as I go. I will start by reading the name of the game, read the blurb that I posted in my media thread on my Discord, and then, well, we'll chat it up. So, starting off, Dark Souls 2, which is continuing on from last year when I dipped my feet into FromSoft. New Year's Eve thing. Have a good one, Jeff. Enjoy the steak. Thanks for hanging out. Dark Souls 2. Well, I will. As I wrote, there are some weird mechanical issues that didn't exist in this predecessor, such as weird joystick dead zones, odd hitboxes, and the horrid mechanic of you losing max health upon death until you go human again. The opening levels are somewhat weak, and 2 of the ending levels are downright awful, but on the whole, it's an alright game. I enjoyed my time with it, and the DLC, optional areas aside, was very solid. It's lesser than Dark Souls and Bloodborne, sure, but still fine. Have a fun and safe New Year as well, Jeff. Basically, yeah, it's an alright game. Some of that stuff I mentioned, it's very true. Like, the controller dead zones are weird as hell. Controllers, I'm gonna unplug this one. And, it does have kind of a weak start. It's not really a bad game. It's kind of... I need to be clear, as well, for people in the know, I didn't play Skull the First Sin. I was like, that sounds like bullshit. I'm gonna go get the original and play the original intended experience. So, to get that out of the way. The bosses are not that difficult compared to the other Souls games, Soulsborns. Let me know the music levels are fine, by the way. Anyway, I feel like I don't have much more to add than that blurb. I took advantage of Discord having more character limit than Blue Sky to put some more stuff in there. I think I didn't really talk much about, like, the lore, though. Like, the story, there was, like, a weird compulsion to go through the story for this one compared to the other ones for me. I'm not sure what it was about that, but it was very intriguing. Hades Tower Flame, however you pronounce that place, is super gorgeous. There's a lot of cool looking places in this game. Geographically, it does make no sense. Like, they cite the infamous going up an elevator from, like, I forget where it was now. But you go up an elevator and suddenly you're in a lava location. And if you look down from that location, you don't see anywhere you just were. That was the thing with Dark Souls 1. Like, the whole world was interconnected, where if you see somewhere, you could basically go there, more or less. It all fit it was congruent. This one isn't, it doesn't have that, so it comes off a little weird. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde's Tower Flame, yes, exactly. So don't play after, yeah, well, I already forget what the actual trigger was for turning into Mr. Hyde. I haven't seen or read an adaptation of that story in a long time. Anyway. I think B is a fair one for Dark Souls 2. Yeah, that's pretty much for that. Next up, Koa and the 5 Pirates of Mara. Not a very long game, very easy to 100%. Fairly standard stuff, but it was fun. Very cute, felt good to control, takes cues from Mario 3D Land / World, and has Phantom Hourglass DNA. Water levels have horrible controls and are the only real downside. That's the game, Mitsu. Anyway, yeah, this is like, it's a little indie platformer game. It was, I think I pretty much said on, like, I need to say right there, like, it's a cute game. The Phantom Hourglass DNA comes from, like, there's treasure salvage there. I was gonna say scavenge, that's not right. The salvage things are just like the Phantom Hourglass, auto detour. They're just like the Phantom Hourglass salvaging, which is very weird to see, but, you know, I didn't hate the salvaging. It was fine. It is a short game. it doesn't really do anything new. I would say it's still worth playing. And that's kind of the crux of... I was going to lay this out earlier. I'll lay it out as I go. I would say anything at B tier is a worth playing game. And I think... for my part, I will put it below Dark Souls 2. Because it is kind of short and doesn't really offer a lot unique, but it was a good game. Yeah. Next up, I'm dipping my toes into classic PS1 platformer territory with Spyro the Dragon. Note, this is the Reignited version. I haven't played any of the others yet. I was going to at multiple points this year, and then I didn't. Whoops. I'll get there eventually. Anyway, a lot more simplistic than I expected, and yet the gameplay loop is quite satisfying. Some flight levels are hit or miss, some collision feels wonky, but the music is quite good, the designs are charming. I had a real good time with this. I kind of do want to replay this on like PS1. There's something about the vibes, looking at the PS1 version, are really nice. I'm getting more and more into retro stuff again. Like retro 3D stuff, I should say. I do want to play the sequels. I don't know. I'm trying to say what I feel like I've heard about the sequels. Like, people like them, obviously. I feel like for the most part, a lot of people say they're better than 1, in the same way Crash 2 and 3 are better than Crash 1, but I guess I won't find out until we get there. I will say I did really like Spyro 1 in a way that I didn't like Crash 1, which I need to get to Crash 2 and 3 as well, but... yeah, I don't know. It is a very simple game, but it's fun. It's nice. Had a good time with it. And this might end up at the low end of this tier, but I think I am going to put it in A tier. It's relaxing. It's... like, I really enjoyed it. And again, I would like to try it again on PS1. I'll see at the backlog. I definitely did get some backlog stuff here, but then I also got just a bunch of new stuff as well, so... Next game, we streamed this one, Aladdin for the Genesis. The cell-style visuals, character expressiveness, and Easter eggs are real fun. On the whole, though, I found this to be pretty middling, with some level geography not very easily readable. It's a fine game, but not one I'll revisit. It's gonna be a tough one to rank. Like, I talked about it in the stream, and showed it off in that stream. I grew up with the SNES version. So... I was always willing to try this one and see if it was any good, because like a lot of people are quick to say, no, this one's good too, but I'm sad to say it didn't hit for me. Like, it was fun enough to play through once, but I don't know if it's... like, it just didn't feel as good as this SNES one. And I know why that is. Capcom made it. Capcom makes good video games, as it turns out. Made good video games in the 90s. I mean, there was a string of time there where maybe not as much, but... yeah, I don't know. I also feel like this has been too long ago, and it was too short of a game for me to be really like, I remember enough of it to make a definitive section for where to put this. Like, either low end of B or high end of C, and I feel like C might be harsh, but... I would say C for Capcom, but it's the wrong game. C for Capcom version is better. No. Yeah, it's fine. It's like nothing really special. I hope I don't regret this call, but like, it does say it's not one I'll revisit. Like, there will be games in B tier I might not want to revisit. There might be games in later tiers. Well, there is a game in S tier I won't be revisiting anytime soon, but more on that later. I'm going to put it in C. C is what I'm going to call the caution tier. It's like, the stuff about it's not so great, but maybe you'll find something to like about it that I don't. It's not that it's really a bad game, it's just like, it's kind of middling, it's not for me, really. Which brings us to the final FromSoft game. I will get to Elden Ring eventually, maybe next year. With Dark Souls 3, there's a fine line between challenge and frustration, and I feel this game often teeters into the latter. But when it's good, it's damn good. Not fond of the DLC, but visuals, lore, and boss design is generally fantastic. A great close to the series. One of the games of all time, Dark Souls 3. No, I know you meant Aladdin. Anyway. This one was fun at first, or confusing. Fun in an ironic sense, I guess. Because I tried to play it like Dark Souls. And I was getting my ass beat by the first boss. And then I just had a thought like, what if I played this more like Bloodborne and then I killed the boss first try? So it definitely does stand on its own a bit. Oh, from the other Dark Souls games. But I do mean when I say it did feel like a lot of points that just got annoying and frustrating more than like the other games could be, to some degree. The bosses, though, these bosses are really fucking good. They might be the best FromSoft bosses of all the games I've played so far. It's between that and Bloodborne for me, but it might be Dark Souls 3. Like I said, when it gets good, it's really, really good. But when it's annoying, you really feel that. It's to a point where I'm honestly not sure if I prefer this or Dark Souls 2. Yeah, Dark Souls 2 is weird, but you kind of ease into it and you start to expect it being weird and different, and it's neat. But Dark Souls 3 teeters the line between this shit's really fucking cool when this shit's really fucking ass. So it always makes it hard to like balance that kind of thing out. I mean, either way, it's going to go in B tier. What location it is going to be tough. Like, if you remember from last year, Dark Souls 1 I put in A tier, and Bloodborne in S tier. I think Demon Souls is also B tier, which makes this a little interesting, as I definitely think these two games are better than Demon Souls. I think Demon Souls might actually go down a bit in hindsight, but enough about that. I think I will leave it above Dark Souls 2. I think the highs, but they are high highs, and I think that's enough to carry it. But the game could get annoying sometimes. Xenoblade X Definitive Edition. I've got stories with this one. Let me find it. I've got a lot of movies in here. This is a huge gap between games. Okay, some nitpicks aside, I am satisfied with the new story content. The main game still carries over plot. Oh, wait. The main game still carries over plot and mechanical grievances from the original, but tunes up quite a bit to make it more palatable. Definitive Edition indeed. Glad to say I like this game now. Let me take it back to 2015. This game first came out, and when I was actually playing the original Xenoblade for the first time, instantly hooked. Immediately loved that game. Anyway, I didn't beat it before Xenoblade X came out. I got that for Christmas. I actually tried to play both games around the same time, jumping back and forth. And the thing I love about Xenoblade 1, characters are great, story is excellent, music's phenomenal, and I was like, oh shit, I can't wait to see what X does. And X had none of those things. I will say it right now, I am not a big fan of Hiroyuki Sawano music. I was when I first watched Kill la Kill, excellent soundtrack. Then I started hearing more of his soundtracks, and I'm like, huh, he sure composes the same fucking shit every time, doesn't he? So, apologies to Sawano fans, but I am not one of you. Like, there are some good songs, but most of them I'm not a big fan of. Overall, some of the overall songs are blah. I hate both new Los Angeles themes. The flight theme is why. And the story was just so lacking compared to Xenoblade 1. There's Aladdin. But over the years I started to get more mellowed out. Like back then I would have probably told you this was a C tier, maybe even D tier game, as I was just so bummed about how like the drop in quality was. But I mellowed out over the years, and I was willing to give it another chance that they made a port of it, and they did. With a refreshed mindset, I got into it a little bit more, and I also remembered a fact that also helped was the side quests in the original game were generally pretty good, and better than Xenoblade 1's, including like the plot elements of it, which was surprising, but I focused on that. Like, I still don't like the music. I still think the soundtrack's just not that good. The story is whatever. The new chapter does leave some questions. It does feel a little bit rushed. It kind of feels like they were going to make a Xenoblade X2, but then I guess they pivoted at some point, maybe because the original X was kind of middlingly received. And it kind of feels like the new story content was... hang on. Sequel content. Like, say they're going to make an X2, it kind of feels like it took the ideas from X2 and crushed them into one additional story chapter. Video games were in fact a mistake. Hey, Abby. So it does feel a little bit rushed in that sense. And it does seem like it actually is being tied into the Xenoblade trilogy now, when it was completely standalone before. I'm not going to elaborate. But... that's the wrong X2! Final Fantasy X2, no. I kind of did like the new story content enough for what it was. And it did add some quality of life stuff to the game itself, including combat, because my original complaint with the combat was it's just way too fucking slow until you get your Skell, which is the mecha of the game. And even then, sometimes it could drag on. But they added some mitigation for that. They added the quick cooldown feature, which you can use to use arts faster. And you can even expand how often you can do that in a fight, so that does help. It does help. Once I let myself just get into it, once I knew what I was into when I'm playing it, it went a lot better the second playthrough, and I had a better time, overall. I still have issues with the game. I still find it the weakest game with the name Xenoblade on it. Overdrive Chocobo, let's go. But... see, I haven't played either of those, so I wouldn't know what to expect. That said, I no longer hate Xenoblade X. It's a fine enough game. I think it's something worth trying. I definitely would recommend this trilogy over this, but there are plenty of people who like this more than trilogy, or like this and don't even like the trilogy at all. But, like, that's my thing about the B tier. Everything in B tier is still something I'm gonna say is worth playing. And, like, you might find something like even more than I did. Like, Dark Souls 3, maybe not so much 2, but 3 is beloved, but there are people who love Dark Souls 2. I don't really think there's a big co-op fanbase. There might be, and I'm just missing it, but... So, Xenoblade X Definitive Edition is going to go in B tier for me. At the very top of B tier. That'll move us on to WarioWare Inc. Excuse me a sec. God, I hope that helps. Anyway, WarioWare Inc. Mega Microgames. Glad to finally try this out. Had a lot of fun. Perfecting it is probably not for me, but the main gameplay loop was addicting and rewarding. I'll just clear my throat, me too, but thank you. I feel like this is a game when I owned... Start over. I feel like if this is a game I owned when I was younger, I would have played the shit out of it and perfected as many games. Nowadays, it's like, I had a lot of fun, but I want to play other games, and there's so many games, and God, there's just so many games. And I feel like there's not much else you can say about it. Like, it's a bunch of micro games, and they're all really fun. Playing through them is fun. The format is fun. You have a different little variety in each little section. And I would like to try the others at some point. I mean, the short version is WarioWare is a really fucking fun game. Very much worth the play. And can provide a lot of replayability. And I think it's an easy A tier. I feel like in the future, I could swap this, but I think for now, I think I would put it below Spyro. And by in the future, I mean if I play Spyro 2 and 3, and I do think 1 or both are way better than Spyro 1, but they're both, like, really good games. Performs as advertised, yeah, there you go. It's very simple. Mario Kart World. The free roam is a fun distraction, and the knockout tour is a neat mode. Grand Prix feels hampered by the samey intermission areas. The AI absolutely feels way cheatier than ever. Apparently there was a patch that addressed that, I cannot say for sure. I miss Underwater and Antigrav, but incredible Rainbow Road, and still an overall fun game. And it has Swimsuit Daisy. Anyway, Mario Kart 8 is the best Mario Kart game you can buy and play for Nintendo Switch 2. I had to specify buy because there are other Mario Kart games on Nintendo Classics that people might say, that one's better. Yeah. I did come to enjoy the free roam, but that was also before I got more games for the Switch 2. I think it was a good launch game. I think it was a good for the launch game to have that kind of thing, so people can, like, kill time with. The rewards are not very substantial. I definitely think you run out of card unlocks way too fast. But I feel like if it's a game you buy late into the Switch 2 cycle, you'll have more games to play, and you probably won't spend much time in free roam. Maybe you will. Maybe you're really big into Mario Kart, and that's cool. The intermissions are really boring, and I do feel like putting all the courses on the same continent often robs a lot of the tracks of their identities. Because you won't have, like, the same, like, background elements in all of them and such. Some of the returning tracks are straight up unrecognizable. It's tough. Because then recently I had, like, a little fun interaction when I went online with friends and found a Japanese player whose display name apparently translated to Ika-chan. With the exact same Daisy outfit and bike. And they were very good. They were consistently placing first. But during, like, the in-between courses thing, we would, like, goof around and stuff, and it was just a fun little interaction. Like, sometimes online gaming is fun, you know? This music is making me sad, remembering it. No. Like, I don't know. There are some really good mechanics. The core mechanics are really good. As far as the racing mechanics themselves. It's just the intermissions really do kind of hamper it. It's true, this is from, Sad Valley. It's actually from Dark Souls 2, for those who are wondering. But I don't know where I'd place this. Because it's in that weird spot where A feels too high, but B feels too low. Like, for reference, I would think Mario Kart 8 actually would go in S tier. Like, it's tough. Like, again, the actual race mechanics are very good. Yeah, this is Majula. Is that Race for Mario Kart's Nest? Fuck. That's the thing. At the end of the day, I still think the game is good. It's just not, like, Mario Kart 8 was excellent. So I guess anything that would have followed that was going to be, gonna have a hell of a time. Uphill battle. So it's good that they tried something different for that. Because Mario Kart 8 kind of did just peak the formula. But again, like, they bring back tracks that had underwater segments, at least one track, I'm not sure, more than one. And instead of it being underwater, it's just like you're on a jet ski on top of the water, and it's like, it's not as fun. Like, the visual variety thing is kind of hampering it a bit. And if anything, that might be what gets it to drop to, like, high B. Ugh. Again, the free roam stuff can be enjoyable. I don't know, yo. I don't know if they're going to do any kind of updates or DLC for it, and if that might change something. There's going to be a reassessment at the end. I think for now I'm going to put it as high B. We'll see if that changes. Street Fighter, the original! Delayed controls, awkward special moves, cheap AI, overall clunky, quite a humble beginning for this franchise. Seriously though, it's bad. D tier, moving on. No, but... like, I'm putting it back there at the end, but, well, it's still on deck. It's not good. It's definitely first of its kind. Like, maybe it was good when it was new. Maybe it was a big phenomenon. I don't know. After Street Fighter 2, I never heard anyone talk about Street Fighter 1 ever again, so that probably also says something. I did not enjoy this. I made it through, like, one arcade, and and it wasn't. Well, there you go. I made it through one round, and I definitely used some rewinds on the, was it the 30th Anniversary Collection? Whatever the one I have on Switch is. I played it for curiosity's sake, and I will never play this game again. Street Fighter 2 is fucking great. This one isn't. It's clearly first of its kind. Congrats Capcom for starting something, or at least kind of starting something, refining something, I don't know. At the end of the day, though, this one fucking sucks, don't play it. D stands for don't play it. That's my metric here. Battletoads. One day I'll play Battletoads. Donkey Kong Bananza. It was a ton of fun, and great at keeping me engaged, chasing tons of side content along the way to the goal. Pauline is adorable and charming. The references are fantastic. It can sometimes feel janky, but mostly it's an addictive experience. Yes, this is definitely Bananza music now. This is the one I kept saying I liked, but did not love Bananza. At the same time, there is a lot of good shit in Bananza, especially the last few hours, which I'm not going to speak of. They were really, really fucking good for a long-time fan. And they made me feel really happy. But there's a good song. I think ultimately I just wasn't that big on the destruction mechanic. Like, it was good for what it was. I think when I said it could sometimes feel janky, there's a mechanic where you have to pick up chunks and throw them a certain way. Certain kinds of chunks to just dissolve something else. And it wouldn't take half the time. And like, I think I just wanted something more platformy. And like, this game was fine for what it is. Like, it's a really good game. I'm not knocking that at all. It has a lot of variety. It keeps the variety up all the way to the end. Like, that's really good of it. And like, yeah, it's a very charming game. There's all those conversations you can have with Pauline that give a lot more insight. They're funny. There is not really much negative I can say about the game. It just, for me, I guess, the gameplay style itself just didn't fully click with me. And there are some people where it does. There's a lot of people who think it's better than Mario Odyssey. I don't agree, but I think it's literally just the gameplay. If the gameplay had clicked with me, this probably would be an easy S tier. But for what it is, it sounds like I'm knocking on it when I say all that, but I think it's still an A tier. I think it's still top of A tier for now. Notice, by the way, there aren't any S tier games yet. This year sucks. No, but Bananza's good. Really good. It's not a me game, I guess. Because you can't use any me's in it. It's a game I would replay, I will say that. I liked it enough to 100% it. But it's definitely not, like, top of the pack. This begins our Donkey Kong Spyro, though. Donkey Kong Jr. Even if the original is more iconic, Jr. is the best of the arcade trilogy, old school game design trappings aside. Feels way more reflex-based than luck-based. Also, Mario is canonically dead. It's true. We make him fall to his death and die. He's fucking dead. Yeah, we streamed this one. There's the Bananza music. You're late! But I had a lot of fun with this, actually. It's a good gameplay loop. It's gonna feel really funny ranking these, because it's probably gonna go in B tier among all these long games and Koa, but anyway. Yeah, I don't know why I played original Donkey Kong a lot, but not Junior. And both those games are really, really fun, even now. Like, of course, they got some old school jank. Of course, they would. But they got a good gameplay loop. They're addicting for a reason. Like, I don't think there's much I can really say about it, because they are simplistic 80s arcade games. I had a good time. It's definitely going in B tier, but where am I putting it in B tier? I think it'd be weird to say, yeah, this is better than Dark Souls. Yo, Left, good to see you. How's it going? That's the funny thing about ranking games is something wildly different is going to pop up in between games. It's like, well, you like that more than the other? It's like, just games are weird. I think I will actually put it like right here for now. Again, there's going to be a reassessment period later on, but for now I think it's good right there. My year in games, it sure is. I love talking about video games. I was excited to do this stream. Like, I love talking about the games that I played, and I definitely don't want to go into a game wanting to dislike it. If a game ends up low on this list, I wanted to go into it and hope that it's good. If it ends up down here somewhere, it just sadly wasn't the case. I think the only exception to that is if it's a long-running series that I'm into, and there's an infamous game, I will want to see what it's about. And that's like the only way I will hate play anything nowadays. But even then, I would want it to be better than its reputation is. You know, some sort of gamer. No, I'm a player. Okay, Donkey Kong 3. This one was okay. I mean, I can see the argument for preferring it over the original, but it didn't really hit. It's fine. Guess Stanley must also be canonically dead. CDI Zelda. Yeah, like those. Like those. Anyway. Donkey Kong 3 is, one of the games of all time. It's not bad. Like, with my metric of B tier being still a worth playing kind of tier, you would think that would mean I would put Donkey Kong 3 in B tier? But... B for bees! The bees that steal your weed. Those fucking weed-stealing bees, they're never forgotten. Donkey Kong Country 3 is also kind of it. Anyway. I guess mechanically... Yeah, wheat bees. Mechanically, it's like it's solid. I don't have any problems with it. Just don't really like. I switched off it very fast during that stream, if you remember. Buzz me. There's some serious weed bees. Like, I think B is too generous, and this feels maybe a little bit too harsh, but I think I'll put it in C because it's just kind of there. Speaking of fucking Donkey Kong, this is Junior, but it was hard finding music for these games that would fit in this playlist. I think it's good there because if you have Donkey Kong, it's already gone. Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. Those are good games. Donkey Kong 3 is just kind of there. Oh shit. Speaking of Donkey Kong Country, sort of. We'll get to that soon. The first Kremlings. Oh no. Donkey Kong 94. Definitely one of the Game Boy's greatest games. Most issues I had can be chalked to it being, well, a Game Boy game, but it was a fantastic game nevertheless. Great puzzles, some solid tunes. Not everything hit, but the vast majority did. I was looking forward to playing this for a very long time. I just never got around to it for whatever reason. Because everybody kept talking about how, like, it's arcade Donkey Kong, but then it suddenly turns into a new thing with a bunch of new puzzles and levels, and... yeah, no, this game kind of kicks ass. Like... Again, there's a couple of puzzles that didn't completely hit. But they were very, very... I could probably count them on one hand. Wasn't a big fan of the win mechanic, but, you know, win mechanics and platformers in general are kind of hated, so I'm not going to fault the game for that. Yeah, I had a fuckload of fun. It's a really fucking good game. Like I said, it's one of the Game Boy's greatest games, and some Game Boy games are among my favorite games of all time. So if it's one of the greatest Game Boy games, it's just one of the greatest games. This is an S tier game. Like, surprise, Bananza, you got outclassed by a game from like 31 years ago. No, this game rules. Like, this game rules. Like, go and play it. You can play it in like bite-sized sessions too. Like it's built for that. It's just damn good. It's really damn good. Like it's on the Switch and it's in the classics. You can emulate it. Go and play it. It's really fun. Like I promise you'll have a good time, unless you don't like platformer puzzle games, in which case fair enough. But go and play it. Now to stay in the Donkey Kong train, Donkey Kong Land. Ambitious for its time. It does stand on its own with some level gimmicks and themes, but it's also awfully wonky and unpolished. I also fucking hate being killed by things I can't see coming off screen. Definitely felt like the first of its kind. As an aside, Mitsu, I am glad that it helped you. Donkey Kong Land I'm not as generous on, but this is... I appreciate its unique ideas. Like, it has some stuff that it deviates from Donkey Kong Country 1, and apparently the whole plot is that Cranky Kong is like, yeah, you've got all these fancy 16-bit graphics, that's why you did better, and challenge him to do it in 8-bit or something, so they did. But yeah, it is a little, it's a little rough. The screen crunch. If you scroll too far up and you fall back down, the ground is gone, you're dead. I hate that shit. Like, it's not a Donkey Kong Land 1 unique problem, but it's a thing that happens and it's just annoying. Things coming from off screen. There's some level design that's actually obnoxious. Contra. Yeah, Contra. And Castlevania 3. Yeah, I also love Contra. I should play more Contra. Again, it has some fun ideas. There is a stage later on where you collect the Kong letters multiple times and then they use them as platforms. That shit's really cool. Like, there's some neat stuff in this game. I feel like... I don't know, my placement for this is going to be hard to judge. Because I'm somewhere between it is worth the play and also caution for old school jank. I think that's ultimately what I'm going to do, though. I think I'm going to put it top of C tier. C for caution. Like, you may enjoy it more than I do. It does deviate from Donkey Kong Country 1, so it's not like a complete rehash of that game. It has unique ideas and level gimmicks. It's just that it's also very janky and very rough and... well, yeah, it's janky and rough, so there you go. Saga of the Moon Priestess, as a brief aside. I have a big chunk of this written out in my Discord. And I'm just going to read that because I barely remember anything about this game, and this will spell the whole thing out. This short Zelda-like was okay. Had some solid elements, like some decent spread art, good music, and some fun writing. I liked that it saved enemy health even if you left a room. And a small but nice thing was that every dungeon map had a unique message. Once again, we already passed Donkey Kong Land, you're playing Donkey Kong Land music anyway. Every dungeon map had a unique message. By that I mean the pickup message, not like the map itself. There were a lot of little annoyances, however. The overworld's pretty dull and not fun to navigate. Movement and attack animations feel slow and sluggish. There's a lot of repetitive push block rooms that aren't puzzles so much as something to slow you down. Dungeon maps do a poor job of telling you what rooms you have and haven't been in, and don't show which rooms have items you haven't gotten yet. There's also a lack of distinction between regular and boss key doors. Also, Game Boy throwback or not, there's no reason in the modern era to make the player swap to the glove item just to pick up a rock, and multiple item buttons would have been nice. It's a fine game overall, but nothing that really stands out. It's a Game Boy Zelda-style game that errs too close to the limitations sometimes, even though it's in widescreen still.
Yes.
It's, yeah, I'm having trouble recalling much of anything that goes on with that, and also, late answer, yeah, it is the one with the switch hook. It's... I don't want to knock it too much. It's not very expensive. And it is an indie game that, like, you know, this person clearly likes the Game Boy Zelda games and wanted to make something similar, and I'm glad they were able to. I just didn't enjoy it enough, and I think it feels kind of mean, but I think I'm just gonna have to slide it down in here somewhere, because it's just, again, I'm having a hard time remembering anything that really happens in this game. It didn't stand out a lot. Like, it's just one in the sea of the games that are just, they're definitely passion projects, but they don't really like stick out as much. It was very short as well, which, being a short game alone isn't a criticism. Koa took like 3 or 4 hours at 100%. Like, being short is not a problem. But yeah, sadly, it's, that's where it feels best, I think. Donkey Kong Land 2 feels immensely better to play than the first. However, screen crunch is still a drag, hitboxes can still feel wonky, Bramble readability is shot. This probably went hard in 1996, but in 2025 it just feels lesser. It's fine for what it is, though. Donkey Kong Land 2 also is a lot more like Donkey Kong Country 2 than Donkey Kong Country 1 and Donkey Kong Land were similar to each other. I messed up that sentence, but it is an improvement. For sure. It plays better. Yeah, it's basically Donkey Kong Country 2. Again, when this first came out, I'm sure it was, like, awesome. I probably would have loved it if I had it in 1996 or when I was a kid. But playing it in current year, it's like, Donkey Kong Country 2 exists. Why would I want to play this version? Like, while Donkey Kong Land 1 was more unique, Land 2 is definitely more following in the footsteps of Country 2, and it's just... And that said, it's still a lot more fun of a game. I think that sucks, because like Donkey Kong Land 1 is more unique. If you're looking for something more... Why is this song so quiet? Oh well. If you're looking for something more unique and not just a watered down version of a game, I would say play Donkey Kong Land 1 and ignore the rest, but if you're solely looking for a game that plays well, I think Land 2 would be the one. Let's round it out with Donkey Kong Land 3. By the way, Land 2, Arabic numeral. Land 3, Roman numeral. That's not a mistake on my part, that's just how they fucking did it for some reason. Anyway, doesn't fully solve the screen crunch and hitboxes, and the music is lesser. But this was easily the best Land game, with a question mark. The least frustrating. It's a little easier than Donkey Kong Country 3, sure, but it removes most of its dumb bullshit. I might like it more than Donkey Kong Country 3 even. I feel like I'll have to play both games again to be sure, but Land 3 does get rid of stuff I hated about Donkey Kong Country 3. It's still fairly erring close to Country 3's design. And yeah, whereas I think Country 3 is the weakest Country game, Land 3 I think really is the best Land game, which is weird, but I think it does better than Land 2 at originality. Wish the song was loud because it's good. I don't want to have to adjust volume between songs though. But it's hard to remember exactly how good it is. Like, it does not have the reverse controls level, which is good. At the end of the day, I don't know. Like I said, there's bits in Donkey Kong Country 3 that Land 3 take out, which is the only reason I'm like, I might enjoy playing Land 3 more than Country 3. But ultimately, I'm talking about video games, Luna, stop it. Ultimately, I don't know. Let me think for a second. I think I might actually put it right here. I enjoy Koa. But again, it doesn't, like, stand out all that much. And it's still Donkey Kong Country 3 in spirit, so it's not gonna be a high end to be, but I think that's a good spot for it. She's gonna bite me. You better not, or I'll cry. Next game. I kept on my Game Boy tear. I played 7 Game Boy games this year. Happy year of the Game Boy. Mega Man, Dr. Wily's Revenge. I will give it exactly one thing. It feels good and responsive to play. 2 things. The music's nice. Otherwise, dog shit video game. Unnecessarily difficult. Miserable. Unfun. I almost feel like I need to apologize to Mega Man and Bass. Almost. I mean, on that note, I have not played that game in a very long time. And if I do play it again, I should try the SNES version and get a more fair opinion on it. So I'm not gonna say for sure which one I hate more right now, but Dr. Wily's Revenge is fucking awful. And I do not recommend it. Like, God, it's just so unnecessarily hard. Definitely abused save states and rewinds when I played it, because I was like, oh, this game has already not earned my patience at all. It's like, yeah, D for Dr. Wily. It's like, it does play well. Like, the engine itself feels good. It's just actually everything set up is anti-player. The stage design, enemy placement, enemy design. It sucks. Trash tier video game. The only question is it when I put it above or below Street Fighter? I think the only reason I put it above Street Fighter is because it's a more functional game, and that's it. Yeah, the narrow FOV, I think later Mega Man games do a little bit better with that, but it does not help. On that note though, when I was in the middle of the NES Mega Man games when I played these Game Boy ones, and when I went back to the NES games after being done with the Game Boy ones, it was kind of really funny because suddenly Mega Man has all this fucking screen space. I'm like, what the fuck am I playing? Mega Man 3, as an aside, I'd already played Mega Man 2 and 5 on Game Boy in the past, so that's why they're not here. My quick opinion on 2, it's fine. It probably would be B tier. The music is not correctly programmed, which sucks, because like, I think correctly programmed is one of the best Mega Man soundtracks. And the gameplay itself is kind of derivative and easy, but like, it's a fine game. It would be in B tier, probably above Donkey Kong Land 3. But on to Mega Man 3, God, what a fucking good song. The first half lulls you into a false sense of security by being a pretty well-balanced affair. Then the back half is an onslaught of rude and obnoxious level design that makes you resent the whole thing. Still not as bad as Dr. Wily's Revenge. Yeah. It's... After Mega Man... Well, I'll say Mega Man 1. After Dr. Wily's Revenge and Mega Man 2 on Game Boy, 3 at first does feel like a big step up. Like, it's tuned better, plays better, feels better. Just described X. Oops. But really, it's just a short version of it. When you fight the first 4 Robot Masters, everything feels pretty alright. Then it goes to the next 4 Robot Masters and everything fucking sucks again. I don't think it's Dr. Wily's Revenge bad. And I'm pretty sure I actually did still manage to beat this without using any save states or anything. So it's got that going for it, I guess, but like, it's just... It's disappointing. I think it's going to go at the top of C, though. I think all things considered, I still found it more fun than the rest of C tier. And especially less jank. But it's definitely C tier for Caution, as in... Caution, the back half of the game is awful, but the first half is fine. It's so weird. Yeah, I need to replay the X games. We'll replay X and play the rest at some point. Get that opinion. Our final Mega Man Game Boy game, Mega Man 4. Not a fan of the charge beam kickback, and the last level was a little annoying, but this certainly beats out its predecessors by a long shot. The new level gimmicks, despite reusing NES Robot Masters again, were quite fun and made it feel fresh. Yeah, even though it reused Mega Man Robot Masters from the NES games, it threw in a lot of unique gimmicks. And Yeah, but for whatever reason, the charge beam makes you, like, have knockback. That's stupid. But this game's really good. It's one of the best Game Boy games. Game Boy Mega Man games. That's a very narrow field, honestly, but I had a lot of fun with this, and I would definitely play this again. I was actually unsure, thinking about it, whether I liked this or 5 more. This opinion could change. I think I'm gonna put this at the bottom of A tier. Like, look at the jump. Like, the NES games are mostly better, but I thought 4 was really fun, and I think 5 would be right alongside it somewhere in A tier. Like, they do a lot of good stuff, they play better, they're designed better. 5, I think, if it was better than 4, for me it would solely be because it's a more original take. They're good games. Mega Man 4 and 5 on Game Boy. Recommend. Mega Man 2, cautious recommend. Mega Man 3, recommend if you don't mind some challenge. Mega Man Dr. Mario's Revenge, don't fucking play that shit. D for don't fucking play that shit, yeah. Next game, the original Streets of Rage, which is ticking off another in the played as a kid but never beat column, and using level select codes or cheats to get over the limited continues. Some of these bosses are bullshit, but the graphics hold up beautifully and it has some solid tunes. Anyway, A-Cab includes all the protagonists. Yeah, apparently the character I chose is also the slowest in the game, so that probably didn't help. But Streets of Rage is just fun enough. A good solid little beat 'em up. It's a 90s, early 90s beat 'em up, so it's a little bit repetitive. I keep hearing Streets of Rage 2 is really fucking good. I don't hear a lot about 3. I think 3 might be the one people don't like, I'm not sure. Gotta play those eventually. But yeah, no, Streets of Rage has great music, great graphics. They're all like cops / ex-cops or something like that, and I don't fully remember the story. It's a Genesis game. The story doesn't matter that much. Genesis beat 'em up, so the story doesn't matter that much. I enjoyed it enough. I would play it again. As another character, just to see if it makes it play better. I think I would put it... yeah, probably right here. That seems good. Oh boy, here's the big one, Hollow Knight Silksong. Frankly a mess in terms of difficulty balancing, but as an overall experience, it's fantastic, compelling, emotional, and beautiful. Yes, it's legitimately frustrating at multiple points. I probably won't replay it anytime soon, except now because they announced expansion, but the experience is worth it. God, what a fucking weird-ass game. I have so many issues with this game. Like, for instance, there are way too many fucking enemy gauntlets. That's not compelling design. Way too much shit hits you for 2 damage, and I know they patched some of that out and later on to try to get some balancing better. I do think it's a beautiful game. A lot of the areas are fun. There are some that are like awful, but like intentionally so. Some of these bosses are really annoying. Like, yeah, like the story and the lore and the music and the mood, the atmosphere is all so good. Like, it makes it all worth it when you beat it. Like, it's so rewarding. It's so annoying. There's some legitimately really good platforming stuff in this as well. A lot of great characters and writing. Some cool abilities and shit. Getting there is so frustrating, but also... there are definitely points where you're like, oh, I'm so glad I got that over with, rather than feeling good that you overcame it. That's annoying. That is a load of shit. Yeah, the 2 damage shit was awful. And they were right to patch some of it out. They should patch more shit out. I was watching someone do, like, the Pantheon in the first Hollow Knight recently, which is the, like, gauntlet mode, and watching him get hit for, like, one Mask of Damage, and I'm like, gee, what's that like? So I think the difficulty balancing was a flaw. I think the amount of enemy gauntlet rooms was a flaw. And I think that so far this is the best game I played in 2025. Like, that's the wild part of this whole thing, is that I loved the game that much that getting there to the end just felt so good. And it's such a well-made game. Like, all the pieces come together at the end. It was so worth playing. It is a long-ass game. It's maybe too much game, which is so funny to say about a $20 game. But again, I constantly say I prefer my Metroidvanias not to be that long. But it was such a good experience. It is, as I alluded to earlier, a game that is an S tier that I don't think I'll be replaying anytime soon. But it is a game. It's just so good. It's just so. And it's also so. It's one of those games. If a game can make me feel all these sorts of things, I think it's worth a lot of merit. And insist upon itself. Next up, Mighty Gunvolt Burst. There's a couple platforming segments that were obnoxious, and an annoying boss or two, but this was pretty fun. Made for replayability with its weapon mod mechanics, though I didn't fully sweep for all the parts. If you're wondering why this music sucks, it's because it's Street Fighter 1. Anyway. Mighty Gunvolt Burst, as some would say, is the best game to come out of the Mighty franchise. Probably right. It's a fun little 8-bit style platformer. I wish, So here's the thing. The weapon mod system, it lets you set shot types, elemental types, speed of the shot, curve of the shot, amount of shots you can fire. And you have to find, like, the upgrades and stuff in levels, as well as having more points allotted to increase your shot styles. It's a neat system. I think for many people, that will go a long way. For me personally, I think I would have preferred a more Mega Man or Mighty Number 9-like system of just beating a boss, getting their weapon, and using that weapon. But it was a fun game. It has multiple characters, so and with that weapon mod system, it does encourage replays. I would like to replay this at some point. I actually started this game a few years ago. I never beat it, so I came back to it because this was after my Mega Man marathon, so I was still in the mood for Mega Man games. This is kind of hilarious. A little bit. Who's this again? Geki. I forget how far in Geki is. I think I just picked a random song, honestly. Shut up, phone! But Mighty Gunvolt Burst. It's definitely a good game. I am thinking... I'm thinking high B tier for this. This could easily be an A tier game. And maybe it would be an A tier game if I replay it more, but... yeah, seems about good. OmniBus, y'all watch me stream this one. It's quirky and amusing when you're doing random silly challenges, and it's quite fun when it demands more precision, as in a couple challenges and boss fights. It's one of the most frustrating games I've played in a while. And this was after Silksong. Mixed bag, though mostly on the fun side. Yeah. Yeah, that's really about it. There's not much to say about it. It's a $5 game, it's cheap, I'm not going to hate on it too much. It's goofy. Anytime it tries to make you be more precise, it's annoying, but it's goofy and it's fun. And I think I'm going to stick it at the bottom of B tier as a worth a play thing, but it's definitely not my thing compared to the rest of these. That was quick. Cloudpunk. Maybe not the most graceful game to navigate, and the voice acting is inconsistent, but the writing is usually solid and fun, if not sometimes wordy, and I really dig the vibes. The story stringing me along for the ride. I want to remember this one. And it's true. This was end of September. 3 months later, and I still occasionally think about this game. This is a voxel art style video game where you're basically a delivery driver in a cyberpunk city in a helper car, and there's like story that strings you along. Again, yeah, when you're on foot, navigating around is kind of clunky. There's really not much to it other than going point A to point B and doing the story and stuff, but I don't know, I was just really into it. Like, sometimes the writing can be inconsistent, like the voice acting, but like there's little points where it seems like they established one thing and then it got ignored later. But for the most part, it's very earnest. Earnest is the word I'm going to use for this. It's a beautiful city, and apparently the Switch version is hampered, and allegedly that might be the publisher's fault. It doesn't even get the DLC, which means at some point I might need to buy this again on PC to get the DLC and see the city even more beautiful than it already was. Also, the PC version has a first-person driving mode. Hello, I want that. But gorgeous game. Very endearing, even again if like the writing and voice acting isn't personal content for the downloadable computer. Even if the writing and voice acting can be a little bit inconsistent, it's still very endearing. I really liked this game, despite its simplicity. Vibes. It's a vibes game, and it stuck with me. Would you download a computer? No. Like, I think it's at the bare minimum right here in A tier. In fact, it might go above Bananza. I think the only reason it might not go above Bananza is, like, the parts of Bananza that really make me happy, and I think it might be the only thing keeping Cloudpunk below it. But I really enjoyed Cloudpunk. And it's definitely not a game for everyone. I'll say that right now. I'm sure there'd be plenty of people who would play it and be like, hey, this sucks, but I really liked it. The vibes. It's a vibes game. Make and model. I would say, give it a look, check out the screenshots, watch the trailer, see if it's something you might vibe with, and if you do, hey, I'm glad. I think it's currently part of the Steam sale for like $6 or $7, something like that. And the DLC is on separate sale. Good game. I loved it. Belle Boomerang. We just heard his music a minute ago. Where is it? There's a bunch of shows and movies here. On that note, I think I want to make next year my media thread just be about games, because I can talk about games. It's easier for me to talk about games and other stuff. Anyway, it's a game with a wonderful 8-bit visuals and some clever gimmicks, while also coming off cheap or obnoxious sometimes with its level design and enemy placement. Bosses are also aggravating endurance rounds. The boomerang needed more range. Overall, decent enough. Yeah, I wanted to like this game more than I did. I picked it up because, like, the screenshots, it looked really good. Like, visually, it's got style. The music's alright. It's a little platformer, action platformer. It does have an easier mode, which I ended up switching to at the end because I was just annoyed I wanted to finish the game. And apparently the easier mode does make, like, the bosses have easier patterns and such. The bosses were the kind of the worst part, because a lot of them are that my least favorite kind of boss. Wait for an opening and get one hit. I hate that shit so much. Yeah, this music's how I feel about this game. No, the level design for the most part is alright. Some of the gimmicks are fun. There are some cheap spots. I like Dark Souls. Well, Dark Souls, you create openings in Dark Souls. There's a few bosses, sure, that you have to wait for the opening, and those are annoying, but there's plenty, like, most of the bosses are always vulnerable. You gotta find your way through the patterns and such, and so it's not, but like in Belle Boomerang, they're not vulnerable until they say they're vulnerable, and that's the kind of shit I hate. And if you mess up, like, trying to hit them during that, you gotta wait through the whole cycle again. That's... I don't know. If I played this whole game on the easier difficulty, I'm not sure if my opinion would change, but I think I'm just gonna put it... top of the C tier. If you're more willing to deal with a more challenging retro throwback style game, I would say play it. But I did not I enjoyed it enough, but not enough to say I would recommend playing it. DUSK. Fucking excellent throwback game. It feels like a late 90s FPS in the best way possible. Great atmosphere, gameplay, fun music, could be pretty creepy as well. Good game. Yeah, this is like Quake, if Quake was good. It takes inspiration from Doom as well, because, you know, it's software, and Blood, which I've never played Blood. Going around killing cultists and demons and in a creepy town, and it's very self-explanatory, very simple to describe. It's really good. It's got some filters as well to make it even look more crusty like a 90s FPS game. Yeah, I had a blast. I did not 100% this. I feel like I would go back and play it eventually to 100% it. There was one boss level that actually did suck a lot, but it being based off old 90s PCs games, you do have quick saves and stuff to help out. I think I'll slot this right here. I think this feels good. I do definitely recommend this if you're into those kinds of games. Hyrule Warriors, Age of Imprisonment. We streamed this. Probably my favorite Hyrule Warrior solely due to being engaged with the plot and these characters. Mechanically, it's not far off Age of Calamity. It still gets repetitive, but the story drove me and left me with feels. God, that I did not expect that story to end me with feels. So yeah, compared to Age of Calamity, I do feel like, and maybe even the original Hyrule Warriors, I feel like there's not really much in the way of gameplay maps like changing or evolving as you play through, like events that you get to engage with. Can't even see the bottom of the chart, yep. And there's some recycling of movesets with the stages just being Age of Calamity champions and the Knight construct just being Link. But there's still like there's unique characters. I think that part was cool, having unique characters to this game that are made up for this game. They don't have that much of a story unless you read the little blurbs in the side quests, but some of them have really good playstyles. Then there's the Calamo I grew attached to. Zelda's moveset's really good. There's a lot of fun movesets. Like the sync strikes are really fun. Yeah, even after the stream, I was like playing this and with intent to 100% it. I didn't finish all. I think I finished all the available challenges. Maybe the the update ones as well, but I didn't finish all the side quests. I was like, oh, that's gonna be a bit of a grind, isn't it? I might still go back to it at some point. I still believe this is my favorite Hyrule Warriors game. And I'm surprised at myself that I'm doing this. I'm going to put it in A tier. Where at in A tier is a question. I think it's going to be above Spyro, maybe above DUSK. I don't know if I would put it above Cloudpunk. I might actually put it at the top. No, I can't put it above Bananza. Cloudpunk is tough. I think I might put it right here. Because again, I still think about Cloudpunk a lot. I don't admittedly think about Age of Imprisonment that much, ever since playing it. I guess both games are kind of repetitive in gameplay when you think about it, so I think that fits right there. I really enjoyed it. It's weird for me, because like I've always said Hyrule Warriors are just fun distraction games, but Age of Imprisonment really did something to draw me in. Yeah. Next game, New Super Mario Bros. 2. Next game, no. One of the games of all time. The coin gimmick is a little more engaging than it comes off as, but the game is fine. Too much recycling. Ghost houses are pretty neat, but the additional vocal backings in the soundtrack are horrible. There's a new Soup 2 song in this playlist that hasn't come up yet. What more can you say about New Super Mario Bros. 2? It's the third New Super Mario Bros. Game, despite the name. It uses the same assets from the Wii game. You know, I think the boss fights were fairly unique, and I think it's worth pointing out. And yeah, there were some cool Ghost House levels. There it fucking is. And I just don't feel like there's much to say about a New Super Mario Bros. Game. I think it just needs to be fucking kicked out. It's the thing though, it being a Mario game, it's still a good game. Which is why I think I'm going to put it, like, right here. No, here. Above Donkey Kong Land 3. Speaking of portable versions of games that are just recycling ideas from a previous game, I think that's fine. Like, it's a fine game, it's just... I wouldn't put it in C tier because, like... It's not bad. It's not a bad game. It's not like a game that gives me pause. It's just like, it's just more New Super Mario Brothers. Yeah. So I stream one of those games. This is the only New Super Mario Brothers game I hadn't played before this year, so whoops. So we caught up. Let's move on. Windswept was a game that I had found out because someone was talking about it. They had backed it. Anyway. Delightful, challenging platformer that wears its DKC inspiration on its sleeve, but evolves the mechanics in its own ways. Some of the optional and later challenges can veer into frustrating, but it's wonderful on the whole, with a decent little soundtrack too. This is what I meant earlier when I was talking about Donkey Kong Country games. So many coins you got caught by a spam filter. Well. Yeah, Windswept is an indie Donkey Kong Country-like game where you play as a turtle and a duck. It's got wonderful pixel graphics. Luna, not right now. Don't bite me, please. I'll scratch her. Wonderful pixel graphics. It's got great sound design, honestly, when I think about it. And feedback. It does take the Donkey Kong Country mechanics, but it does, like, build on them. It is very obvious that it's a Donkey Kong Country inspired game. And there's, like, one animal buddy that is unique, but it's also a little bit jank. And there's also some very, very I combined advanced mechanics into mechanics. Some very, very advanced mechanics in, like, the optional levels that are cool on paper, but I just don't want them. The main gameplay does get more challenging as it goes, for sure. It's mostly the optional levels that get really hard. And I did not, mechanics. I did not play the optional post-game world, because at that point I was like, I know how these challenge levels are going to go. I don't need more of that right now. But I really enjoyed my time with this. It's an easy recommendation. I think it being so close to Donkey Kong Country might be a turn-off for some who want something a little bit more original, but if you want something more like Donkey Kong Country, here you go. This game is it. Placing this one is also going to be tough. Because I think it is one of the best games. I also worry about the staying power of it is the thing, but I'm putting it right here. Top of A rank. I think it works good there. There's going to be a reassessment at the end again. But for now, I think we'll put it right there. Oh yeah, it's definitely not one you want to rush that much. Ender Lilies, Quietus of the Nights. A game that's been on my wish list a while. There was a period where I just like threw a bunch of Metroidvanias on the wish list because I want to play my Metroidvanias, and this was on sale for $10 and I grabbed it and I was like, let's play this. I'm looking for a good game right now. Right, let me read my note. Excuse me. What a beautiful, emotional, melancholy game. It's visually gorgeous. The various builds you can make are quite varied. Kind of redundant. The combat's really fun, and the music's quite good. The story, quite tragic. I admit to tearing up once it all settled. Yeah, this is one of the rare games that made me cry. It was a And I think it was more of a release than it was like one single moment hitting. But what a good fucking game. I was not expecting to love this as much as I did. Going into it, I was like, oh cool, I'm ready for another good Metroidvania. And I got into it pretty quick. Like, it is a somewhat difficult game. The music's fantastic, the visuals are great, the story is very sad. Like, to teeter on the verge of, I guess, overall mood. It does have a bittersweet ending that's as good as you're going to get for this, but I guess happier than you might think it would end up going. So it's not all dreary. That atmosphere could be enough to turn people off, and I would understand that. But it's a fucking good game. This music does not match the tone, but I can just came in and it really hooked me. It really felt good to play. It's really nice to look at. Has some great boss fights. If I had Dixie Kong in it, it would be even more broken, but this game just blindsided me. I flashed onto it. This game is also going to stick with me for a while. This is the game that dethroned Silksong. It's a game that didn't enrage me, but also had all the beautiful elements that really tied it all together. And this is one of my new favorite games of all time. In general, like, it's gonna stick with me forever. And I want to find a way to replay it. That's kind of why I want to try to do a randomizer of it, even if the method of randomizing is questionable. The whole live split thing. I might look into it, we'll see. But Ender Lilies is almost perfection. Speaking of Silksong and games that were in development for so long they became a meme and then came out this year, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. While I would have preferred more interconnectivity and less hand-holding, this game is quite good. Great music and visuals, feels just like the Prime I know and love. Some great set pieces, fantastic boss fights. Story stuck the landing too. Please let there be more. That's me in the notes saying that, not me now saying that, although me now is also saying that. Yeah, my biggest gripe with this game is the overworld, Soul Valley, the desert world. It's so boring. It's so empty. It's so nothing. It's so padding. It's padding incarnate. I don't like it. And you gotta travel across it every time you want to go to another area. Like, I don't hate the motorbike. I think it's fun in its own way, but it's there just for the overworld, and I want something that's more interconnected, like, you know, a Metroid game. It's very Prime 3 coded, and that it's like a lot more linear, and the Federation is involved in the plot. Yeah, DK94 can go hard, but the gameplay is still good. It does kind of feel like it takes away a lot of off the beat path stuff, though, and there's some things you can find in the overworld, but once you get there, they amount to being Breath of the Wild shrines, except, like, not nearly as in-depth. It's like, not every game needs to be Breath of the Wild, make it be more like Metroid Prime 1. Or 2. That's what I want from another Prime game. Yeah, and the hand-holding from you go on the overworld and Miles chimes in and being like, you should do this. I'm like, how about you shut the fuck up and let me explore? Why wasn't this a toggle? But I still had a lot of fun with it. It does have really good boss fights. Maybe some of the best in the series. At the end, I did enjoy most of the characters or who they were, and putting aside the shitty-ass hand-holding spots. The naming scheme is also another sour point. Every ability is just psychic something. substance that drives the plot is green energy. Remember Phazon? That was a good name. So they need to get more creative on the naming and any future sequels. Please let there be sequels. I really liked it though. I had a lot of fun with it. It wasn't a very long game, but that's the thing. Like I said earlier, I don't think Metroidvania should be long. There's still some Baja left. So it being like 15-ish hours, that's good. That's good. That's good for me. I don't want a long Metroid Prime game. I think it would get old. But yeah, the fact that it's called green energy and also was kind of a negative substance. The meme I saw was Metroid Prime 4 is fossil fuel propaganda. Don't call it green energy. Like, somebody had to have said something during writing. I had hoped to be able to put this game in S tier when it came out. It's still a good game. It has flaws that need to be ironed out by the sequels. But this game is going to go into A tier. And yeah, it's probably going to be top of A tier for me. It's still Metroid Prime. There's still some really cool shit in this. And I hope to see more Metroid Prime. And they iron out the things that didn't work in Prime 4. Because for Retro Studios does good shit. Speaking of Metroid Prime 4, we just got done talking about you. I didn't talk about that. The music! The music is back up to par, which was like, Metroid Dread is a very fucking good game. And to get to the point, yeah, Metroid Dread is the best Metroid game that you can, that was released for, and you can play on Nintendo Switch, specifically. Prime 4, for those who may not know, is Switch 1 and 2, but Dread is really fucking good. But Prime 4's soundtrack is so good! They got it back up to par. Metroid Dread soundtrack, meh, eh. It existed, but Prime 4's soundtrack is so good, and I'm so happy for that part. Yeah, Soul Valley doesn't have any music, which is the same. Well, there's a conversation to be had on that too. About the amiibo unlocking the radio that plays music. I don't know what music's on it though. It's not. I don't think it's new music. They should just have that in the game, but whatever. The individual areas have music, and when there's music, it's good. I'm so glad it is good music again. Oh boy, we're down to 3 games left. Wario World, a short, fun romp. A little janky and occasionally frustrating, but it's goofy and endearing. Charles Martinet's performance is charming, and it has the best pause music ever. You want to hear the pause music? Let me pause this music and go pull it up real quick. Wario World pause music. Is that not the best song you've ever heard? Okay, back to this. Yeah, no, this is the game that I wanted to play when I saw like Nintendo Power and stuff. Because it seemed fun. People have said it was fun, but there was like also talk about how it was too short. And then they dropped it on the Switch Nintendo Classics, and I was between games at that point. It's like, hey, I can play another short little game right now. And I did. It is janky. It has this underworld mechanic where if you fall down like a pit, you end up in this little like room where there's these ghosts that try to take your coins. You gotta break these boxes trying to find a spring to get back up. And these rooms get more and more annoying. Because like they take away the terrain, make them single tile paths over like electric pits that take more money away when you fall in them. It sucks. It's really bad. And there's some like optional challenge areas that can be a little bit frustrating as well. But it's overall, it was a fun game. I enjoyed my time with it. Enough to, not 100% it, but get all the things you needed to collect to get the best endings. Which is, I'm glad it's not 100%. And again, Charles as Wario, and they used the phrase, he ate, because, like, damn. It was really fun in this, and it's great listening to him. It's a wacky game, it's enjoyable. I'm putting it in B tier. Above Streets of Rage, sounds good. 2 games left. Ender Magnolia. Bloom in the Mist. Perhaps not as emotional as its predecessor, but this game is otherwise a dramatic improvement over a game with few real flaws to begin with. The additional characterization goes a long way and is truly a masterpiece of a game. After I beat Ender Lilies, I did not want to immediately jump into the sequel, because I felt that connection with Lilies so much I wanted to sit with that for a bit and savor it. So I gave it a couple weeks, played some other games, and I felt ready. I jumped into it. Ender Lilies is a really good game with very few flaws. Ender Magnolia is a dramatic improvement. What the hell? Like, things I didn't know needed to be improved were improved. And I start with the map. The map is so good in this game. And Ender Lilies is like... oh, fuck yeah. It's like squares, basically. And they change color if you get every item in there. And they also show you, like, entrances and exits. So, like, it works in that sense. But it doesn't, like, show you your position in that room. And Magnolia does. And the map screens are, like, shaped like the room itself. And they even have details on the map, so you can look at the map and see what room that is without having to go back to the room and physically look at it. Without looking cluttered, by the way, which is another achievement. And it will say positions of items you see but can't reach on the map. It is... that alone is really fucking phenomenal. It's very smooth, like Lilies was. The characterization for your your partner characters, the call it, does help carry the plot. The plot itself isn't as good. It's still good, but there are some threads that either feel incomplete or rushed towards the end. It's overall still a good story, and the music is just might even be better than Lilies. It's God, what a good game. I will say, I don't think the bosses are as good as Lilies. They're still good, but like they're not as good in my opinion. And there's the emotional aspect in Lilies is stronger, and there's some like fun, janky platforming that Lilies does. Magnolia doesn't have. So there are advantages to Ender Lilies over Magnolia, but as a game itself, Ender Magnolia is just a phenomenal step forward. Like, how did they do it? I feel like I read something that when they formed the studios, or the publisher, or whatever, they set someone to start the script for 3 projects, starting with Ender Lilies. Which has me like, is there a third Ender game coming? I sure hope so. Because, like, I would love to play another one. I look forward to that greatly. It is hard for me to say which one do I like more. Sorry. Because Magnolia is a much stronger game overall. Feels so good to play. Looks great. Sounds great. It also gives you a lot of slots for equipping multiple equipment and relic and shit. You can't switch between them unless you're at a save point, but... and Ender Lilies, if you had to change your loadout for whatever section, you had to remember what it was before, so you could change it back manually, but here you could just set another slot, and that's nice as well. This is a Xenoblade X song, just for clarification. Pauline would probably rock it? Anyway. Picking the top one here is tough. Which one do I like between these 2 games? I think at the end of things, I don't know. Ender Magnolia, as a game, is a really good game. The vibes are immaculate. Ender Lilies has so much cool shit of his own. And it is the one that made me cry, so that is... There is that to consider, but it's so hard. I think... It's barely... This is the music that plays in my mind when I'm trying to pick a game here. It's a very, 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 very close call. Ender Magnolia is a 2025 game, and it is going to be my game of the year over the other 2025 game, Silksong. I just bring this up not to spite Silksong, but to be like, you know, Silksong was like the meme game. I didn't play all the other big indie games like Blueprints or, well, the others, but at least it's to our final game. Maybe not the best close of 2025. Shadow Labyrinth. I'm honestly here for the weird vibes and ridiculous twist in the Pac-Man story, and those have moments, but the gameplay is just too padded out and meandering, big for the sake of it. There's something off about the controls as well that doesn't help. And a final boss gauntlet so horrid that maybe swapped to the easier mode, which, mind you, was added in a later patch. Said patch also added more checkpoints, which ironically neuters some of the game design and challenge elsewhere. What a weird game, and sadly not for the right reasons. I wanted to like this game. I came into this game wanting to like it. Like, I was not seeking to dunk on this game when I played it. Like, the weirdness was why I wanted to play it. If I had seen the, like, what, 56% Steam reviews, I probably would not have played it, but for those who saw the streams, you saw me in the first stream already going, like, is this something I want to continue on stream? And so I gave it one more chance, and the answer was no. I did come back to it after several more games, and I did beat it. It got a little bit better once I finally got the double jump, but that just took so long to get that upgrade, and I think the double jump actually was the final, like, mobility upgrade you get. What kind of a Metroidvania has, like, no mobility upgrades? And then, this also happened after my second stream. I found, like, the extra optional levels for their takes on original Pac-Man, and, have little challenges on them. I thought those were fun. I mean, the controls were not great, but the concept was fun. I think I like those most out of the game. The ridiculous story is ridiculous. I liked that part of it. I still like that part of it. That's my favorite part of it. Yeah, like, I did have the epiphany that, like, yeah, Pac-Man is a maze, so it makes sense why they made the game kind of maze-like and big and stuff, but it doesn't make it fun to play. It just never feels like you upgrade your abilities a lot, or the level design is just not that interesting. It's also really funny that Namco has, like, this whole-ass timeline. This is part of it at the very end. Well, 4,000 years before Thunder Scepter, I guess. That was apparently the last song on the soundtrack, on the shuffle. What if I, let me start something else. What if I pick this one again, because it's just the best song on the playlist. Anyway. It has all these references to all these other Namco properties. Dig Dug is in this. Bosconian, like there's a tribe of people called Bosconians, which are apparently a Namco game I didn't know about. I don't know a lot of these. Galaga, Xevious, Galaxian. It's all a tie-in of the, I don't think Mappy's in it, but I don't think I know who Mappy is. I'm thinking, if you get it. It's like all tying into the Namco universe, including Pac-Man, sort of. Yeah, no, I don't think this is in it. I think that Namco timeline is for, like, specifically, like, space shooters or similar, although it's got Mr. Driller in that timeline, and Dig Dug, and Ace Combat 3. ECAB includes Mappy. And like I said, at the end, it's a huge boss gauntlet. It's just annoying as hell. Apparently in the patch, they finally do add a checkpoint. I wanted to like this game. really did. Sadly, I didn't. And it's not like worst game ever material, but it's going to be C tier. I think, yeah, right. Fuck it, at the bottom of C tier. It's just so dull and it's way too long. Go back to Metroidvanias being too long. Like, we got long, but justifies it. And we got long, but doesn't justify it. It's like 26 hours to beat. I did a bit of side stuff, but not a whole lot. So who knows how much longer it would be with that extra side stuff. It's a game that would have been cooler if it came out 10 years ago, before indies figured out how to make Metroidvanias good. I mean, you know, Castlevania already figured that out, but... that will mostly do it. Let's go through our reassessment period. Let's start at the bottom here. I think this is still how D rank's gonna stay. Again, Dr. Wily's Revenge is functional, and that's the only reason why it's better than Street Fighter, or above Street Fighter. So Street Fighter is the worst game of the year, which feels a little unfair, but that's how it rolls. And this tier... again, I want to like this more. It's just too meandering and long, and it drags on, and I think that alone goes a long way for it to feel long and not good, so it stays down at the bottom. At least Saga the Moon Priestess is short, despite being forgettable. Aladdin is a little bit more memorable, a little more jank. Donkey Kong 3 you can just play for a little bit and stop playing. Donkey Kong Land also jank, but... I am second-guessing it being below Mega Man 3. And I may be second-guessing putting it below Belle Boomerang, but I'm not... I need to stop talking soon. I'm feeling the... Let me think. I'm gonna leave it there, actually. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, nothing really good stands out about Land, and I'm thinking of the jank stuff that made me hate it, so... I think it can top C tier, actually. I think of all these games, it's the one I'll be most likely to revisit. I'm thinking maybe the same might be true about Mega Man 3, but I'm wondering if that's a Mega Man bias showing. Now, Mega Man 3 on NES is one of my favorites, but on Game Boy not so much. And I do acknowledge that Mega Man 3 and NES is not exactly the most graceful game either, but I really like it, so sure. I want to leave it. How much show my bias? Nah, it's fine. Mega Man 3 can be right there. Alright. OmniBus bottom of B tier makes sense. I think this stays because, yeah, at least Koa is his own thing. I say as I put Land 3 and New Super 2 above it. That's the thing, like, you're still getting a quality game out of New Super 2, even if it is kind of... That is the thing. I think I will put Koa above Land 3. Like, Koa was a while ago, and that's why I'm having trouble trying to place it. I think this is fair. Streets of Rage, yes, stays above. Wario World, this is like the tough one, because like... I think it stays. I still need to think about this one. Dark Souls 3 vs. 2. I think it stays. Nothing's really jumping out at me so far about needing to be changed. Up here, this is locked in. Well, there's still the point of I still don't know in my heart which I like these two more, but it's otherwise locked in. Also, I can get rid of this row. I think maybe 4 can stay here. I think I'm gonna move it up 1, actually. Okay, so as much as fun as I had with WarioWare, I really like Mega Man games. So it's just I tend to like more the console series games, a little bit more of the Game Boy ones, as good as this is. But this stands up there. I don't want to be like, maybe I like it more than Spyro, because Spyro was also a long time ago. He says one that's not bring together. Well, I mean, I kind of like to put these in as much as in order as I can. Because it's both a tier and a ranking at the same time, kind of, but for me, it's also like, you know, the tiers also tell a better story than the list, because you have a bunch of A-tier games, it's not going to be as bad as saying, like, oh yeah, this game is way lower than that game, or something like that. I really liked Age of Imprisonment, but it feels weird if I put it any higher than this. It already feels a little bit weird being above Dusk, but Cloudpunk stays. Prime 4 is also definitely an emotional attachment. I feel like that could maybe go lower, but I don't know, I was satisfied, even the lesser points aside. Who knows, maybe in the future I'll calm down on Metroid Prime 4. It is pretty recent, it could be recency bias. Okay, I think all of this feels right. It's really the Ender Lilies versus Ender Magnolia thing that has me like, fuck. I think I'm going to leave it as is. Why would you do this? I think that's going to put a pin in it. So I will download this, I will post it, and I will go. Thank you for indulging me in my chatter for the 35 games I played this year. When I played 40 games last year, I think I already said this, I'll say it again for emphasis. I played 40 games last year, and I was like, that's a fucking lot. I don't think I'm going to get this close ever again, and this year I played 35 games. But I guess I got close, but it is exactly as many games as my age, so hooray for me, I suppose. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it then. Let's see, there's... RB Man is playing some Mario 64. It says short stream to end the year, but I'm gonna rate them anyway, because even though it's been going for an hour and a half. Let's see, let's go back through here. Thank you again to Aaron, Urza, and T-Base for the resubs, and thank you again, Aaron and Jeff, for the bits, and for that hype train that it caused. Thank you again, Opie and Aiden, for the raids. Well, here's hoping next year, as a year in and of itself, is an improvement. Not really for games so much, although yeah, I do hope there's good games coming out. But, you know, in real life. We got through 2025, and for those of us that didn't make it, we've got to make it for them. Maybe this is the year it happens. Thank you, Mitsu. Squeaky is the original Alucard bot imitation bot. Alucard? Alucard mention? Alright, let me go ahead and open this. I'm not sure how much longer he'll be streaming, but because it does say short stream in the title, but I'm going to raid him anyway. Raid RB Mans. Thank you all again for hanging out, not just today, but through the year. I won't be live again tomorrow. I might go ahead and start my next casual game. I might just play a randomizer. Honestly, maybe monitor the throat situation. I hope I'm not losing my voice, because it's feeling a little bit crustier than, drier than it normally does. Depending on how I feel tomorrow, we might do something casual, or we might just do a randomizer, but I will be back tomorrow, most likely. Tomorrow and Friday, nice. I'm not off Friday, but I will be here tomorrow. As always, have a good one. Thank you all for watching. Happy New Year. See you next time, and next year. Ha ha ha!